Hello mathematicians, this is lesson 8.5, division properties of exponents. So title your paper, division properties of exponents, make sure it says 8.5 at the top, and you're going to write down this example. So yesterday or the day before in 8.4, we did multiplication properties of exponents where we multiplied the two numbers together. Here you're dividing, so whenever you divide your number gets smaller. So you're subtracting your exponents. So one way I like to do it is if you look in this problem A. If I have 4 B's on the top and I have 9 B's on the bottom, okay, what we know about fractions is if I have the same thing on the top and the bottom, they can cancel each other out because they essentially equal 1. So then I can cancel this out with this with this with this, and I'm left with 5 B's on the bottom of my fraction. So how you would write that is 1 over B to the 5th power. So try B and C, and then we'll go over them. So B is just Z to the 5th power. C is a little bit different because there's multiple things. So you have A squared and A to the 4th. So that means I have 2 A's on the bottom, 2 A's extra on the bottom. And then I have 2 B's extra on the bottom. So it'd be 1 over A squared, B squared. So in 2000, the total amount of paper and paperboard recycled in the United States was 37 million tons. The population in 2000 was 281.4 million. On average, how much paper and paperboard did each person recycle? So this is a really good real world problem. So they took these and they didn't want to write it like that. So they wrote it in scientific notation. Then it's very simple, and all you're going to do is divide these first two numbers, and then you're going to subtract 7 minus 8 and get negative 1. So when you divide 3.7 by 2.8, you get 1.3 times 10 to the negative 1. And then when you do that, it's 0.13. So let's try some. Try A and B and C in your notes, and then we'll do D together. Okay, so 8, or A, sorry. 2 divided by 8 is 1/4. And then you have 10 to the 3rd and 10 to the 8th, so it's going to be times 10 to the 5th power. You're just subtracting them. So 1 over 4 times 10 to the 5th. 7.5 divided by 2.5 is 3. And I have 12 tens on the top and negative 4 tens on the bottom. So I would subtract those, and that would give me 8. So then, no, it would give me 16. It's 12 minus negative 4 because it's a negative. So I have to put that in, and it would be 12 plus 4, which is 16. So 3 times 10 to the 16th power. And then here, 4.2 divided by 12.6 is 1/3. And then you're going to have times 10 to the 3rd power on the top. And then your 3 goes on the bottom. So in 2000, the total amount of glass recycled was 2.7 million. Into the population, so I'm going to put 2.7 million. I'm going to write this out. Divided by 281.4 million. About how many tons of glass were recycled per person? So you could just pick up your calculator and divide that. But what they're trying to show you is that you can, if your calculator doesn't go that far, because if the numbers are like way larger, then you could use scientific notation. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2.7 times 10 to the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, divided by 2.8 times 10 to the 8th. Or am I supposed to put the population on the top? Yeah, no. Okay. So then I have 2.7 divided by 2.8, which is 0.96 times 10 to the negative second. Hold on. Okay, so this is 0.96 times 0.10. So our answer is 0.096. So less than a percent. Okay, so next property, raising a quotient to a power. For every non-zero number, a and b, a divided by b to the nth is a to the nth, b to the nth. So what you're doing is you're distributing yet again, just like we did in the previous lesson, where it was a number like 4x squared to the third, and we distributed this. It's the same exact thing, except now we're doing division. So if I were to do letter A, I would just write 3 squared over x to the fourth, which equals 9 over x to the fourth. Pretty simple. So B, try that one, and then we'll correct it. So B is going to be x to the third over y to the sixth. Obviously, these are like the most simple ones. They're going to get harder. So now, write this example in your notes. Write down this. A over b to the negative n power. So what happens is that entire fraction has to go under 1. If you see here, they put this entire piece in the denominator because it was raised to a negative exponent. So that means then you have a fraction in a fraction, which is not allowed. So what happens, if you look down here, is if you have anything raised to the negative power, you are going to flip it and it becomes the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is your answer. So the b goes on top and the a goes on the bottom, and your n becomes positive. So that's how you can flip those around pretty simply. So simplify each expression. So I'll show you how to do A. So 3/4 to the negative third is going to be 4/3 to the third. I flipped my fraction and I made my power positive. So then you're going to get 4 to the third over 3 to the third. 4 to the third power is 64, and 3 to the third power is 27. And then you do 64 divided by 27, and you can leave it like that, or you can write 2.37 if you did it on your calculator. Either way. So try B and C. So for B, I'm going to have 2 over negative 1 to the fifth power. So 2 to the fifth power over negative 1 to the fifth power. So 2 to the fifth power is 32. And negative 1 to the fifth power is a negative 1. So my answer is negative 32. For C, I'm going to have S over 2R. And that's all raised to the first power, which I know is just that. That's it for your notes.